got to admit, that's not my best editing work. I know, I apologize. But that's probably how a lot of us feel, right? Floating around in crypto space right now. And it's kind of that consolidation phase when we're floating around. We're just kind of like, which way are we going here? What's going to happen? And we're just out there in outer space, hoping to hit the moon. And I guess what I want to do is I want to talk about that a little bit. The bullish case for Litecoin, but I also want to touch on the bearish case. And for reference, we can look at a tweet I posted earlier. I said, Litecoin bulls imagined. And this is a real chart up to right here where this arrow is. That's where we are. And I added, a couple months or so. This is a weekly chart. And this is my bullish case imagined. If this bullish trend continues, this is what I see. And I guess I want to talk about this a little bit in this video. But before I do, let's hop over to this article I found today. And it does tie in, so bear with me. Regulators share resources to crack down on scam ICOs. The persistent exploitation of the crypto ecosystem by fraudsters is a significant threat to Main Street investors in the United States and Canada. Meanwhile, market researchers at TAB recently published a paper which claimed that one of the largest obstacles stopping institutional money entering the cryptocurrency market was a lack of regulation. They also stated that 2018 would be the year that this and other issues facing the market would be resolved. This would allow for the sudden influx of money that many commentators feel is needed to push the prices of Bitcoin and other digital currencies back beyond their all-time highs and towards some of the most bullish price calls. I completely agree with that sentiment. That's why I wanted to point this out. Basically saying institutional investors, big money will come in, will feel comfortable coming in once these ICOs and these scam ICOs that are out there kind of are in check, if you can say. And I completely agree with that. I think it's something that's very important. And the valuable cryptocurrencies like Litecoin, like Bitcoin, can shine even brighter. And there will be actually even more value in those cryptocurrencies once all the junk is cleared out. So let's talk about this. That's just one little case for a bullish scenario, which is to say big money finally coming in that everybody's waiting for. And to start these charts, what I want to talk about, I'm going to start on the daily, which I do often, I know. But just tell me, how can you not be intrigued with the patterns that you see on the screen? And we can take it back to, you can take it back to this consolidation. This is 2016, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, huge breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation. We got a breakout, we've got consolidation, we've got that most previous breakout, and we've got the consolidation. How can you ignore that? Even if you're bearish right now, aren't you just a little bit curious to see if this trend, this bullish trend continues? This bullish trend has not been broken yet. And we know we can start talking about it being broken if we start creating these new lows and breaking these previous lows in this continuation pattern that we're currently in, but it hasn't happened yet. So one thing I want to point out before I get into what you see on the screen is it cool if I talk about the bullish case for Litecoin up here and the bearish case down here, as we truly are in this channel that has gotten very small now? And this channel is kind of like that 180 resistance that we have, and then this support at 110. We really can't and don't want to break the 110, but that would be a bearish scenario. That's where we start talking about a bearish type of Litecoin world that we would be living in. But I know I talk about a bullish scenario a lot, but there are so many reasons why. And if I am one way, it is bullish. So forgive me if you're not, but I am. But I always want to point it out. I do have the bearish scenario as an option. I have it on the screen. I have it because it's something that we should all anticipate and be prepared for. It's extremely important. And so I have it on the screen there, and we do talk about it often. We really do. So let's talk about what I have on the screen, because somebody posted in a video, I think it was yesterday's video, they asked if I ever use Fibonacci. And I commented that I really don't use it much, and I don't. And I've said that in previous videos. However, I think I did a video like a couple months ago maybe, and we looked at the Fibonacci and we looked at it throughout the history of Litecoin, and we saw a very key number, which is that 786 on the Fibonacci. And you know, all these numbers that you see on this really are, these numbers, they tell a story, not even just with stocks and trading, but these numbers are also applied to nature and just the world, and they help tell a story. And in the case of trading, a lot of times that story is a story of support, is a story of retracement. And so the 786 is an area that we've seen, not just what you see on the screen, but even prior to that, as a pretty key area for Litecoin. I wanted to talk about that because it just interests me, and maybe it'll interest you. So right now on the screen, you see I took this last continuation pattern that we had of this consolidation before this breakout, and I kind of put where I see the start of that being and the breakout area. And you can see that 786 right there is right around. So I started it here, and I ended it here, which is the top, but that high right there. And you can see the 786 is what was a pretty crucial area in terms of when it finally did break out. You see just a lot of resistance at the 786, and then you see support there, and you kind of just see it hugging that area before it finally does break out. And I did the same thing on the current continuation pattern that we're in right now. I have the start being right down there, and right now you see 786, there it is. Same thing, a little bit of resistance, some support. It's just a key area for Litecoin. And even if you just kind of ignore, right, and I'll actually just remove, just because it's a lot of noise on the screen, I'll remove that. And if you look at these two triangles, and I know I've talked about this before, but they're so similar. The consolidation is so similar, and it just, right now, we really are where you see on the screen, I put a break, which is a breaking point. If the bullish scenario continues, up, and then in my opinion, something like this. Maybe the time frame is off, but something like that in a crazy bull run. And if it doesn't continue, then we're just going to break these patterns that we see, and it's going to completely turn around. And that's after years of this type of movement. So it would be a very, very, important piece of Litecoin history, of the Litecoin story, if we do break down finally, because that really will be kind of a bearish market scenario, and something that people talk about for a long time, just like they talk about the last bear market that crypto had years ago. So, but I wanted to put all this out there just because it really does all play into the data that we track, the patterns that we track, and there's just so many interesting consistencies that you see on the screen right now. And in my opinion, as we've really consolidated, we kind of are like in this area right now in terms of this current position that Litecoin is in. In my opinion, if you want to compare it to this previous triangle back here, before we had this breakout, I really think we're like right in there somewhere, right here and right at that 786. So it's very interesting to me. So if we do break up, I think it's going to be a very nice scenario. So yeah, I'm bullish on Litecoin, but everybody knew that. That's not a surprise. However, very important to have your plan in order, know what you're doing. Obviously breaking up would be amazing. There's always a potential that we break down. And I just want to put that out there because it's important, especially if you're maybe new watching this channel. I just want to represent the channel, I guess, in a more conservative light. But yes, I'm bullish on Litecoin. So let me know your thoughts about all of this stuff on the screen. I know there's a lot I just threw at you. Curious of your thoughts. I know if you disagree, you'll be commenting below, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Please hit that like button. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. As always, I will see you in the next video, and God bless.